Hello. Many of you all would have heard about how people are pushing back with regards to the Transgender Persons Protection of Rights Amendment, which is going to be introduced by the Government of India in 2026, and many suggest that it is going to be introduced during this very budget session. This amendment bill that is going to be introduced basically makes amendments to the 2019 bill, where it takes the fundamental right enshrined as per the Supreme Court case in 2014, which is the Nalsa versus the Union of India, where it gave them the identity to be able to have their self-perceived identity clause. As per Government of India, what this would do is prevent misuse, as well as be able to be more precise definition of who they believe should be getting these rights under the transgender community. It also proposes to separate gender identity from sexual orientation, which also means a whole lot of more bureaucratic intervention. In the case of 2019, as per the Supreme Court, which was a historic judgment, it gave the transgender the legal right and identity to be identified as transgenders. In the 2011 census, when the census was conducted and the new census is awaited, there were about 4.88 lakh transgender identified, living majorly, two-thirds of them living majorly in rural areas and coming from important states like Maharashtra, Uttar Pradesh and Bihar. As per the Supreme Court, said that transgender persons have rights under Article 14, Article 15, Article 19 and Article 21 of the Constitution, which is that gender identity is part of their personal autonomy. Now, in this case, in the proposed amendments, the two things, one is taking away the self-identification proposal, as well as earlier it was easier for someone who identifies to be transgender to be able to approach the DM and get a certificate and be part of the schemes that were identified by the Government of India. Now they will have to go through a medical board to get a certificate and then approach the DM to get that. A, it adds to bureaucratic process. B, it also ends up taking away their fundamental rights to dignity and respect, and should not be reduced to a bureaucratic process, and their rights should not be reduced as per what the judgment was offered by the Supreme Court of India. That is what the pushback is coming for, and as someone who is opposed to this particular way the bill is being introduced, I propose that it needs to go through a multi-stakeholder conversation. We need to win the confidence of the people who are going to be impacted by this, and ensure that while their rights are defended and rights are ensured that are not harmed in any way, but at the same time, if there is any procedural lapses or misuse of the particular act, should be identified, but not by reducing their rights or reducing their ability to be identified as transgender.